And so for me, there was a period in my life before I started making, a lot more money, where I had 9 different businesses, all right? And I had 9 businesses that I was CEO of, and I wasn't making any money. Now, we were making revenue, but because I was so spread thin, I couldn't focus on any of them enough. And so all I could do is just barely keep my head above water. I had, a dental agency, I had a chiropractic agency, I had my launch business where I was flying out. So I was in different cities every week doing these launches. And then I also had 6 locations of gyms that were running too. So I was so spread thin, I was stressed out of my mind. And so most people can't execute. And so what I would think at that moment in time, like now looking back, it's obvious, and maybe you hearing it's obvious, but for some reason, it's kind of like the Yiddish saying where your nose is an inch above your mouth, but need somebody else to tell you your breath smells bad. I think it's the same thing with this, which is that at the time, if I had asked younger me, what do you think the problem is? I'd be like, I think I need to change my strategy. I think I need to change all these things up. Well, the reality is that most times you don't need to change that much at all. You need to actually just do the one thing really well. And so it's not about coming up with the plan or doing the plan, it's sticking with the plan, right? You can beat most people at anything if you just stick with it for a year. If you're willing to suck at something for 100 days in a row, then you can beat most people at most things. The bar for excellence has never been so low. And so most of your competition puts after the first sign of difficulty, the first impasse in the mountain where they don't immediately get it, because they've never known what hard feels like. And so you having to figure something out, the unknown is the hard part. The figuring it out is the hard part. And so people think that, I should switch paths because I understand the path of getting to here. So you might get this far up the mountain and you might be on this path and think, I could do this path or this path or this path. But the thing is usually you have to go back down and then you got to go over and then you got to go up again, right? So it's actually a lot longer to keep switching paths, but we don't think that because this path we can see. We already walked down here, we already see the bottom of the mountain, we can see the path to here. But then from here we get stuck again. And so we keep re-leveling up and going from level 1 to level 2, level 3 really quickly because we've beaten those bosses before. But then you get to level 4 again and you're stuck. And so you have to grit through that period when you don't know what you're doing. And this took me so long to understand, like the not knowing part is the part that's hard, and that is where people give up. It's not usually the like, I just need to work harder. Sure, there's some people who are weak and they just lose there. But most of the time when I talk to business owners, that's not actually where they lose. It's because they don't know what to do. And so they think, I'll change my strategy, rather than figuring out what to do is the strategy. And so most strategies do work. So I want to hit on this a little harder. One of the misconceptions about business is that there's this one secret thing, right? There's usually lots of ways to win. There's a few ways to skin a cat, right? If you have a dull knife, on the other hand, you're never going to be able to skin the cat. And the sharpness of your knife is your ability to execute whatever path you have, right? Whatever way of skinning a cat, which is actually pretty visceral and nasty.